Welcome to Terraform for game number 2, potentially of 3 here at the Gfinity StarCraft Cup. We're spawning in the top left-hand position as the red Zerg player, currently 1 game up, outmaneuvering his opponent into Mutalisk Tech in game number 1, and using his advantage to snowball and maintain a choke on the third base location. Representing ROCCAT, it's HyuN. His opponent spawning in the bottom right-hand position, representing Samsung. Very fierce Zerg player, but currently 1 game down and having to win 2 in a row to make it into the last 16 of the Gfinity Cup. It is Armani. So far, again, no early shenanigans from either player. HyuN is going to be pleased with the way that last game panned out. The early Zergling attacks did nothing really for either side, although HyuN continuously kept the pressure up. Armani had the earlier Baneling Nest, and HyuN simply used that to pressure the ramp of Armani without actually trying to commit and go in. He was just looking, pressuring, poking and prodding for holes. And eventually that led to a position where even though Armani had the earlier layer, HyuN snuck out the earlier Spire. So Armani may be using a couple of extra defensive Banelings there, using up some of the gas that could be Mutalisk, and HyuN just slowly started building extra Mutas here and there. I think he started leading 8-6, and then used that off the back of pressure and getting a third base to just try and deny Armani's third base. The game plan was pretty plain to see, and HyuN executed it brilliantly, to be perfectly honest. Armani was too busy defending to realize what was going on until perhaps it was too late, and by that point HyuN had enough Mutalisk to defend back home that a counterattack wouldn't have worked either. So despite killing a couple of workers with his own Mutaflock, Armani had to tap out. We're now into game number 2. Armani once again going to be grabbing that spawning pool, but this time later than HyuN, who opted to go for that first, just in case there are any sort of shenanigans popping out right now. There aren't going to be, and the Overlord from Armani is going to spot that the hatchery timing from HyuN is later than his own, so they've effectively still gone for, well, the same sort of overall build, but I suppose HyuN being just a little bit careful with that pool first here. In case any sort of counter cheese or anything like that decides to happen. A couple of Stegosauri are going to be moving out across the map right now, playing leapfrog with each other. They're so cute. And then they research speed, and they really don't look cute anymore. They basically look like horrific flying ants, and they scare the living bejesus out of me. But right now, these guys look cute, and that's all that matters. They're going to be moving up into the base without too much in the way of trouble. On to creep now, and will be able to scout everything out. As long as he gets sight of the 2 gas guys, he's reasonably happy. HyuN did just that. And it looks like both Zerglings are going to be able to escape with their lives. So good initial scout there from HyuN. Armani Zerglings now moving towards the main base of HyuN. Just the 1 queen there to try and stop them. There's a second one on the ramp, and 1 Zergling will successfully make it in. Oh, wow! With the drones moving out as well, just a wee bit of micro there allows HyuN to actually pick off the Zerglings before they get into the main base. And as a result, Armani has no visibility of either one of these gases. Now, one of them has been taken, and Zergling speed is on the way. That's going to be very frustrating, actually, for Armani. He's opted to take both gases at his natural expansion, leaving both the ones inside the main base free at the moment. So just keeping HyuN guessing a little bit in case a scout comes in. Because if you just see these 2 gases and you see them saturated as well, there's no real way of telling, without moving an Overlord in to check for these, whether or not it might be an early 4 gas, very, very quick switch into Mutalisks, for example. So that's the kind of misinformation that Armani is looking to potentially spread here. But HyuN once again going for a significantly earlier third base than Armani here. And has Armani seen this? He has not at the moment. So he's probably not expecting a 6-minute third base already being put down. An Evo chamber also going down inside the natural expansion. A couple of Lings now will move into the main base. Oh! And just about wrong-foots that queen as well. So they will get a full scout off. Sees the 1 gas geyser being taken. A little bit of a hit on the queen. Presumably just to let HyuN know that he's there. And everything does get taken out. Now, is this going to trigger a check for a third base? It is. Armani moving into the third now, and he will successfully spot that the third hatchery is almost complete. Now, will this result in a massive attack? Well, the second Evo is about to complete. +1 melee, +1 ranged even, already researching, and the Roach Warren has just completed for Armani. So that could end up being the answer. Roach Warren in reaction coming out from HyuN after that scout. I think HyuN is going to have his work cut out for him to defend it, but he definitely can. The work situation at the moment is 44-43 in favor of Armani right now. A couple of Zerglings moving again for another scout. We'll spot that roaches have already been out. And I think HyuN is going to know that this could end up being a very quick timing. The layer completes now, and instantly at the Roach Warren, we have Glial Reconstitution coming out and on the way. 1-1 is in production for Armani as well, so he's looking for quality over quantity here. Only the one evolution chamber, guys, remember, from HyuN, which means Armani will have an upgrade advantage, but HyuN will have the defender's advantage, because he will be able to basically fling more roaches into this position than Armani can. Armani, in the meantime, spreading his creep far and wide, and I like this because the further he spreads his creep across the middle of the map, the faster his roaches can reinforce in the coming attack. That's going to be really important here. An Overseer popping in briefly, just to see how much damage it can take by the looks of things, and as it turns out, it can take quite a bit, as it just about manages to escape the clutches of this queen. We're going up to 5 gases, I want to say. This gas geyser has not been taken yet for HyuN. And the first roaches from Armani are now pooling up behind this line of sight blocker there. I'd love to see a queen the other side of this just lay a couple of creep tumors down. I mean, they have quite a lot of energy at the moment anyway. 16 versus 6 roaches. HyuN is really, really going for it, and I wonder if this means that Armani is using this signs of pressure here to basically just bait HyuN into making a lot of roaches and to try and drone up himself. The problem is, at the moment, he still has fewer workers than HyuN. That third base significantly later than our rocket player, and he's down 57 versus 64 drones, so you can't even argue that right now. HyuN just has a massive roach count. He's waiting to have to defend, and then he's kind of going, oh, well, the attack doesn't look like it's coming. What is going on here? It looks like Armani's taking a more defensive position now as well. He's just starting to hit the rock tower. He wants first to kill off this Overseer, which I think is an excellent move. Kills off the 2 changelings as well. There's still one there. There we go. Which means the only forward overlord from HyuN is this one. Oh, pardon me. There's an Overseer here as well. Okay, fine. So he doesn't 100% know what's going on right now. Oh, and if the rock tower goes down, okay. HyuN spots the cheeky little danger there. He doesn't want to become a GIF on Reddit. Not today. Which is completely fair enough. HyuN now moving in with roaches, saying, hey, if you're not going to attack me, mate, I'll attack you. It's 41 versus 27 right now. But there are 2 queens here. And the upgrades are significantly better for Armani. He's got the +1 attack. And HyuN has as well. But he's also got the +1 armor and defender's advantage here. Will that be enough? Because the numbers do significantly favor HyuN. It's 24 versus 18 right now. So Armani's slowly starting to even up the roach count. 18 versus 20, 16 versus 14. And Armani is taking this to parity right now. But look at the reinforcements from HyuN. Back up to 21. And Armani is having to retreat a little bit, partially up this ramp. But I think he's going to hold with defender's advantage, because look how long it takes for all of these roaches to come across. You can see HyuN doing the Overlord creep highway to try and add to his reinforcements. His 3rd base was early. He's getting his 4th base behind this as well, and that's going to be at the gold. So HyuN looks like he's switched on the aggression now and wants to basically keep going. We had Muta versus Muta in game 1. We're going to have Roach versus Roach in game number 2 here. I do beg your pardon. All right. Burrow and +2 completing for both players, but significantly slower Burrow coming here from Armani, who has a macro hatch up in his main base. Both players actually have a macro hatch, and they're absolutely going for it in terms of unit production right now. They are not messing around. But 35 to 43 roaches in favor of HyuN. And don't forget, temporarily, Armani is 2 upgrades ahead. HyuN does not want to attack before +2 hits. Which gives Armani a bit of breathing room. And, ooh, but he has a couple of sneaky roaches moving into the main and natural expansion here. Are there... There need to be Overseers here. There need to be Overseers very, very quickly. Oh, God. Here comes the main battle. And HyuN is using this as an example, as an excuse, rather, to go ahead and unburrow roaches at the main, at the natural, at the 3rd base. And there are 3 roaches in each of those. So, yes, the main battle's going on here. But workers being killed by HyuN presumably are now starting to increase. And here we go. These roaches are going absolutely undeterred right now. Armani, though, in the meantime, looking like he's managed to kill off a good number of roaches in the 3rd, but HyuN burrows the rest of them. That means HyuN at the moment seems to be doing more damage. 16 versus 11 workers killed. HyuN still continuing to kill off workers here. Armani has not dealt with this threat inside the main base adequately right now, and that's because he's too worried about losing the game at his natural. But the worker count's currently 52 to 34 in favor of HyuN, and it looks like he might begin a snowball here. More roaches coming to the third base. Guess what? There are no drones there anymore because they've gone to the gold. Has Armani spotted the gold? Armani has now spotted the gold. He knows what's going on now, but he's down to 28 workers versus 52. Almost just over half, really, of the workers that HyuN has right now. And this third base is looking rather naked, and HyuN has a goal. This is going to be such a difficult position to come back from. Armani's going to have a really, really successful attack. And with burrowed roaches, you never know what awesome stuff might be possible. Look at this. He's burrowing into the natural expansion. He's going to have to kill an awful lot, though, to get any sort of purchase here. I mean, good gunks up on the hatcheries. He's going to have 4 roaches here too, but is it too little too late? He's still 15 workers behind. Armani, just the 1 upgrade ahead, interestingly. So it looks like I want to say +2 armor was started for Armani, and he might have cancelled that, but maybe it just didn't start. Let's keep an eye out on what happens here. Oh no, there are enough reinforcement roaches from HyuN that this 4 roach attack force from Armani hasn't really done that much so far. Are there any additional ones at the third? There aren't at the moment. All quiet so far in this game. What's the number of roaches left? 38 versus 31. Again, still in HyuN's favor. And if we take a look at the income right now, this is Armani's problem. Yeah, HyuN has 99 problems, but minerals ain't one right now. And he's going to be moving, well, just redistributing drones amongst his bases so he doesn't mine out all too quickly. I'm guessing these guys are going to the third. Some burrowed roaches from HyuN to potentially protect against anything coming in from Armani. Another gunk going off against a hatchery. So Armani doing his best to try and launch some sort of comeback in this game. And he's 30 supply behind at the moment. He is now only 10 workers behind. Significantly better than earlier. But this gold base has been mining for so long. I mean, 10 workers on a gold is just worth so much more than 10 workers on a regular base. And HyuN looking to respond with a couple of annoying gunks off of his own. This actually looks rather sinister. It looks like some sort of execution just paused, hanging in the air, waiting to swing down. So still no 4th base coming out from Armani. He's up to 163 supply, but HyuN is now maxing out. Splat goes the hatchery. And this is going to be a massive problem. HyuN is now also making the upgrades completely even here. Once +1 armor complete, so Armani won't have a bit of an upper hand there. He's 25 supply behind HyuN. Still 7 workers behind, but most crucially, lack of a 4th base. Roach squad here trying to pick off a couple of workers. It looks like the spine crawler is going to go down as well, making this gold base really frustrating to hold. I like that a lot. Ooh, borrowing the roaches and splitting them into 2 different directions. Very, very slick there. Coming out from Armani, now moving to the 3rd base as well, and picking off a lot of workers. This is what Armani needed, but don't forget, the advantage of having the gold base for so long does still exist for HyuN. So this roach force will die. There are still 2 more at the gold base, and it looks like he's just going to go to town. Oh, a pity he doesn't have 3, so he can one-shot these drones, but never mind. Picking off workers at the gold. This is exactly what Armani needs to do. And as a result, he's allowed himself to be maxed out as well. So HyuN has a bank. He's basically got 1,500 more minerals, give or take, than Armani, and a bit more gas as well. He just spent some of it, but they're both on the same supply. They also both have the same upgrades. So +2 attack and +1 armor active for both players now. But once again, HyuN still keeping control of this gold base, even though he's lost a bunch of workers. So he's going to gain a potential larger bank much, much sooner. He also has the option of taking these 2 gases as well, if he wants to go a little bit more tech heavy later on. He's researching the +2 armor now, and note that Armani is not doing that. He's also getting grooved spines from the Hydralisk Den. Armani moving in once again with roaches in the natural, and a massive engagement going on at the gold base. Wow, now this is a gob off of monstrous proportions. Both sides looking to kill off the other. There are no queens involved in this fight, just the 1 spine crawler, which admittedly is doing a lot of DPS right now. Armani doing a good job. He's going to burrow and move away here. Doesn't look like he'll be able to take the gold base, but this roach has done phenomenally. Number of workers killed now. Armani has taken the lead, 39 versus 33. So it's become earlier gold base versus later harassment, picking off yet another worker there, and I think he got a bit in the 3rd base as well. So Armani doing very, very well to pressure HyuN, moving into the more recent stages of this game. Both sides absolutely going to town on upgrades. HyuN now has got Hyuan in his army. He's researched Grooved Spines as well. So he'll be able to kill off a bunch of Overlords, and he'll be able to bolster the DPS of his attacking force here. That's going to be pretty mega. Armani's going for a counterattack around the south end of the map. The Changelings do spot it, and HyuN's actually electing to defend. He's splitting off a small group of units to attack here. He's looking for a fourth base location. We'll see the gold. The gold is completely and utterly undefended. I mean, this... Oh dear, this is candy from baby kind of territory. Oh no, and HyuN, he might be pincering this from Armani. Armani has a group of roaches coming. I wonder if that's too many roaches to commit, because is he just going to lose this fight at the gold? I can't see how he's going to hold this against HyuN here. HyuN's got 63 roaches versus 64. He's got 7 Hydras as well. Not quite overwhelming numbers, but the gold definitely goes down. Armani is at least going to take out the gold as well, but what is he going to do against the main army of HyuN that's over here? As HyuN loses units, he'll be able to remax and hopefully put his reinforcements here so that he doesn't lose any of his other bases. HyuN is all over Armani, though. Where is Armani's counterattack? He's moving into the natural expansion now. Is this going to be enough? It looks like it... Oh, wow, this could actually get messy. There isn't enough defending for HyuN as well. So both sides going absolutely mental. They've hit the attack button, and they are not stopping. Red and blue and flashing lights all over the minimap right now. And this is going to be a very messy end to game number 2. 28 drones to 18. And, well, HyuN's going for the offensive hatchery. There's still minerals to be mined here. I mean, why not? And Armani has some burrowed roaches here. Is he planning to try and end the game when he is confident that that's the last building? That could be truly excellent. HyuN actually has an upgrade advantage right now, by the way. He has completed his +2 carapace. Armani hasn't rebuilt his base and therefore is being revealed. He's actually building a hatchery inside the main by the looks of things. Now, where are his buildings? Oh, there's that. Is that it? These are overlords. Is that actually it for our body? Our body has a drone. Alright, so our body has built a hatchery here because that building basically is all that's left between our body and destruction. HyuN in the meantime. Those are overlords. These are all overlords. And HyuN's got that. Okay, this is messy. It's 141 versus 144 supply. 13 drones versus 6. 128 supply for Armani with 1 upgrade less versus 138 supply for HyuN. Now, I am confident that in a straight-up fight, everything else being equal, HyuN wins the army-on-army fight. He doesn't win it by an absolute landslide, but it will start to snowball if the fight lasts, say, more than 5 seconds. Because of the extra DPS from the Hydras and because of the extra upgrade. But whoever waltzes in and kills off the hatchery first wins, basically. And there are overseers here as well. Okay, this could get to... there's a second hatchery going up at the gold base. So Armani is going to be able to mine again with 12 workers. This could be telling. Because if HyuN doesn't do something else really quickly... Okay, he's going for spawning pool and retech. He's also... he also sees, by the way, Armani's gas up there, but it's not really relevant at this point. Changeling spot the hatchery as well. I think this could end up being a game where we mine again. Because I honestly think if HyuN allows this gold base to go up and drones to start mining, then over time, Armani could be in a strong position. He does need to admittedly create a spawning pool and try and get roach tech up again, but Armani might have the potential to remax here. And I wonder if he's going to do that. The changelings being ever so sneaky here. Unfortunately, the overseer is going to spot the roaches no matter where they go. Second group of roaches from Armani just checking for any residual buildings. And we have got a hit squad of roaches out next to the gold base, so Armani is going to have to go back and defend a little bit. This is why he needs those tech buildings out. Basically, he needs to start teching up. He needs a spore crawler, a couple of spines, a spawning pool, and a roach warren, ideally. HyuN at the moment is just mining back off this base over here, and it is a little bit easier to defend because he can effectively block off the ramp with the number of workers that he has. Oh no, and that's... a lot of drones running away by the looks of things. Armani down to 10 workers, actually, versus 12. So number of workers killed now, 78 versus 77. These drones are actually going offensive. I wonder where they're moving to. But we have a massive engagement at this hatchery. Armani is saying, I'm just going to go ahead and kill off these buildings. Is he going to be able to do it? There's a spawning pool left, and there's a roach warren behind. If he can't do this, if HyuN kills off this army, HyuN wins the game. That's it. GG. He can't kill the buildings fast enough. Armani going for the move at the death, not able to pull it off. Very, very tight there, but HyuN able to win this best of 3 by a scoreline of 2-0. Very well played. HyuN moves on to the quarterfinals here at the Gfinity StarCraft 2 Cup.